Ever since the dawn of man, we have looked up to the stars and wondered just how large the universe is. And for countless millennia, we concluded that the universe is infinite. Today we know that the universe is not only finite, but expanding at an accelerating rate. But with the possibility of a multiverse growing, infinity is once again becoming a correct conclusion. The human brain cannot fully grasp concepts like infinity, but I will do my best to describe it in a way you can understand. This is you. You live in the Empire State Building, which stands at 1,454 feet tall. The Empire State Building is on the island of Manhattan, which is 21.5 kilometers long. Still see where you live? It's right there. Now Manhattan is just one piece of New York City, and New York City is an even smaller piece of New York State, which is just one of 50 in the United States of America. Still see the city? It's right there. Just zoom out a little further, and there it is. The Earth. Home to the 107 billion humans who have ever existed, and every life form we know of, from prehistoric bacteria to the modern blue whale. Now it gets a little larger. As we go, keep in mind the Empire State Building with you in it. The Earth is 12,742 kilometers in diameter, which means that lined up end to end, 110 Earths make up the diameter of our Sun. Okay, the Sun is big, but the biggest stuff in our universe are not objects, but distances. The diameter of the orbit of our Earth is as large as 300 suns lined end to end. And every one of those suns has a diameter of 110 Earths. But the terrestrial planets have the smallest orbits in our solar system. In fact, the diameter of the entire solar system is 4.5 billion kilometers in diameter. That means it would take roughly 3,000 suns lined up end to end to make up the diameter of our solar system. Take a second to think about your place in the Empire State Building. Now let's move on. The next jump goes to interstellar distances. These distances deal with numbers just too large to comprehend for the human mind. That's when we change our unit of measure to light years, a space so large that the fastest thing in our universe takes a full year to cross it. It is 9.5 trillion kilometers in distance. That means that 2,100 of our solar systems lined up end to end would make up its distance. Now keep that light year size in your mind as we go on. The nearest star to our Sun is Alpha Centauri A, 4 of those behemoth light years away. But there is no shortage of stars in our Milky Way, adding up to 100,000 of those light years in diameter. Each light year, 9.5 trillion kilometers. Good luck spotting the Empire State Building from here. How far to the nearest neighboring galaxy? 2.5 million light years. We have a bunch of neighbors on our local cluster, but let's go further. Welcome to the outer universe. Here's some weird stuff happens to space. As you know, space is expanding, but at an accelerating rate. Right now, it is actually expanding faster than light. How, you ask? Isn't light the cosmic speed limit? Yes, for things moving through space. But if you are space itself, you can break the rules. Now we have to think of our universe like a bath. These clusters of galaxies, like our local group, are bubbles of dense space in our cosmic bath. That means that we are stuck in our little bubble of the local cluster, as other galaxies are moving way faster than we can ever move. But don't worry, we still have 100 billion stars to explore. Because of that, there is no way to determine the exact size of those distances, but we do know the approximate size of our universe. 93 billion light years. But that is only the observable universe. Beyond that, there is just more universe. There just hasn't been enough time in all of existence for the light from those galaxies to reach us. So for all we know, the universe could be trillions of light years in diameter, with billions of galaxies, each moving away from each other faster than the speed of light. Although we do know that the universe is finite. Now let's imagine that we could look at it all. And there it is. That is the largest thing we know of. Everything there is. Think about where the Empire State Building is, and where the Earth is. Because on that little green and blue speck was every argument and every fight humans have ever had. On a speck smaller to the universe than an atom is to our sun. But if we lived in an infinite multiverse, then we could zoom out further and further. And that massive amount of space would just get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until it too is a speck. And it will continue to get smaller forever and ever as the rest of the universe gets larger forever and ever. And everything I just explained is as infinitely small as the universe would be infinitely big. Because in an infinite multiverse, any amount of space, no matter how large, is infinitely small. That is how big infinity is.